It's midnight. You flip on the bathroom light, and something explodes across the tile. Too many legs. Too fast. A blur of motion that stops dead on the wall, holds for a heartbeat, and then it's gone, into a crack behind the baseboard before your brain has finished processing what it saw. And you do what almost everyone does. You grab a shoe, maybe you scream first, you go after it, and if you're fast enough, you kill it. Here's what nobody tells you. The thing you just crushed was the most effective hunter living inside your home. In the hours you never see it, it was eating the cockroaches breeding in your walls. It was hunting the silverfish chewing through your books. And it is one of the only creatures in your entire house that hunts and kills bedbugs. It does all of that at night, on its own, for free. It has never sent you a bill, and it never will. Almost nobody knows this because almost nobody gets past the legs. But by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly what that creature eats, why it physically cannot hurt you, and why the reflex to kill it on sight might be the real reason your pest problem never actually goes away. Stay with me, because once you understand what it's doing in the dark, you will never look at your bathroom the same way again. Let's start with what it actually is, because the name people use is wrong. That is a house centipede, Scutigera coleoptrata, if you want to be precise. And here's the first surprise. It isn't an insect. It's a myriapod, an ancient branch of the animal kingdom that split off long before the bugs you know, which means it's less closely related to a cockroach than you are to a fish. It didn't come from here either. The house centipede originated in the Mediterranean, and it spread across the world the same way so many household creatures did, riding along with human trade. It crept north through the United States for almost 2 centuries, one town at a time. It reached Pennsylvania by 1849, New York by 1885, Massachusetts and Connecticut by around 1890. By 2009, it had spread all the way from Virginia to the coast of California, which means for generations, in millions of American homes, this animal has been living in the walls, running the night shift, and getting killed on sight by people who have no idea what it was doing for them. And there's a reason you keep finding it in the bathroom, the basement, the laundry room. A house centipede can't seal its own breathing holes the way most insects can, so it dries out fast, and it needs humidity to survive. It goes where the damp is, but damp corners are also where the pests it eats gather. So the centipede isn't hiding in your bathroom by accident. It followed the moisture, and it followed the food. To understand why it looks the way it does, you have to understand what it's built to do, because every single thing that makes it horrifying is a weapon. Start with the legs. A full-grown house centipede has 30 of them, 15 pairs. It doesn't hatch that way. It comes out of the egg with just 4 pairs, 8 legs, and it adds more with every molt until it reaches its full, unsettling count. Those legs are not just for running, though it does run. A house centipede can move more than a foot in a single second, straight up a wall, across a ceiling, over slick bathroom tile. Relative to its size, it is one of the fastest animals on the planet. That speed you find so alarming is the same speed that makes it almost impossible for prey to escape. But the legs are the real weapon. When a house centipede attacks, it doesn't just bite. It leaps onto its prey and wraps it in those long legs like a net, a technique biologists actually call lassoing. And because it has 30 legs, it can do something almost nothing else can. It can hold several victims at once, pinning multiple insects in different legs while it feeds on another. Then there's the venom. Near its head, the house centipede has a pair of modified front legs called forcipules. They work like fangs, but they're better than fangs. They're multi-jointed, far more dexterous than the rigid fangs of a spider, which means they can inject venom and hold the prey in place at the same time. And unlike almost every other centipede on Earth, this one hunts by sight. It has true, well-developed, faceted eyes. It doesn't build a web. It doesn't lay a trap and wait. It actively stalks, spots its target, and runs it down. It's built to survive, too. Its rear legs are so long they mimic its own antennae. So when it freezes on your wall, a predator genuinely cannot tell which end is the head, which buys the centipede a half second to bolt in the opposite direction from where an attacker expects. And if something does grab hold of a leg, the centipede simply drops it. The severed leg keeps twitching on its own, holding the attacker's attention, while the centipede escapes and quietly regrows the limb later. Almost nothing about this animal is accidental. Here's the detail that should change how you see it completely. The house centipede is smart enough to hunt prey that could kill it. When it goes after something dangerous, like a wasp, it doesn't charge in blindly. It darts close, delivers a single sting, and immediately backs away. Then it waits. It lets the venom do the work, and only when the prey is subdued does it move back in to feed. That is not a mindless bug reacting on instinct. That is a strategist. So this is what's loose in your house every night. A fast, venomous, sharp-eyed, intelligent predator. And the only question that actually matters is what it's hunting. Because the answer is a list of the exact things you are genuinely afraid of. Start with silverfish. That's the flat, silver, metallic-looking thing that darts out from behind your books and vanishes. It looks harmless. It isn't. Silverfish eat starch and cellulose, which means they eat your home from the inside. They chew through the bindings of your books and the pages inside them. They eat the paste behind your wallpaper, peeling it off the wall. They get into stored clothing and eat the starch in cotton and linen and silk. And worst of all, they eat the glue on the backs of old photographs until the photos curl and stick together, and the faces on them are simply gone. The house centipede hunts silverfish in the exact damp corners where they breed. Then there are cockroaches. The centipede takes them at night, along the walls and baseboards, which is exactly the route German cockroaches travel. And roaches are not just a food problem. They shed skins, droppings, saliva, body fragments. All of it dries and crumbles into ordinary household dust. And that dust is one of the most powerful indoor allergens ever studied. Cockroach allergen is detectable in about 85% of inner-city homes in the United States. Roughly 2/3 of inner-city children with asthma test sensitive to it. And when researchers measured it against dust mites, against cat dander, against everything else in the house, cockroach allergen had the single largest effect on how severe a child's asthma became. And before you decide that's someone else's problem, understand that around 30% of suburban middle-class homes carry detectable cockroach allergen too. Every roach that centipede takes off your wall at 2 in the morning is allergen it just removed from the room where your kid sleeps. If this is already changing how you see the thing in your bathroom, hit subscribe. We break down the hidden science behind the creatures everyone gets wrong every single week. Because now we get to the one nobody expects. Bedbugs. The house centipede is one of the very few predators that will actively hunt and eat bedbugs inside your home. And if you've never dealt with bedbugs, understand what they actually are. Flat brown insects about the size of an apple seed. They hide in the seams of your mattress during the day and come out at night to feed on your blood while you sleep, drinking for up to 10 minutes at a time before slipping back into the dark. They are the reason people burn their own furniture, and they are no longer a rare, faraway problem. They are back at a scale most people don't realize. Roughly 1 in 5 American households deals with bedbugs in a given year. Controlling them costs Americans an estimated $5 billion annually. But here's the part that should stop you cold. Bedbugs were very nearly wiped out in the United States by the 1950s. They almost disappeared. And when researchers explain why they came roaring back, they point to a few things: global travel, resistance to modern pesticides, and the decline of the natural predators that used to keep them in check. Read that again. One of the reasons the bedbug came back is that the things that ate it disappeared. And you have one of those things living in your bathroom, and you keep killing it with a shoe. It doesn't stop there. The house centipede also hunts termites, and termites are the most expensive pest in America. They cause more than $5 billion in damage every year, more than fires, floods, and windstorms combined. They chew through the frames of more than 600,000 homes annually, from the inside out, often for years before anyone notices, and almost never covered by homeowners' insurance. A mature colony can eat through a pound of wood in a single day, hollowing out the beams holding your house up, while the surface still looks perfectly solid. A single centipede won't clear a colony that size, but it is hunting the scouts and the swarmers in the same damp wood where those colonies begin, thinning them before they ever establish. Now here is where almost everyone gets it exactly backwards. A house centipede is not your problem, it's your warning light. These animals stay where there is prey to eat. That's the whole reason it's in your home. Entomologists will tell you this plainly. A lot of house centipedes means a lot of something else. Silverfish, or roaches, or worse, breeding somewhere in your walls where you cannot see it. The centipede didn't cause your infestation. It found it before you did. So when you crush that centipede, you are not removing a pest. You are smashing your own smoke detector. The prey it was hunting is still there, still breeding, and now there is one less thing thinning the population every night. And understand, this is not a swarm passing through. A house centipede can live for 3 years. Some survive 5 or 6. The one in your basement may have been quietly patrolling your walls, hunting your pests, for longer than you've owned some of your furniture. It isn't an infestation, it's a resident, a tenant that pays its rent in dead roaches. The math is the same trap it always is. The pests it eats breed in staggering numbers. A single female bedbug can lay around 500 eggs in her life. Roaches rebound in weeks. The centipede breeds slowly and lives for years. So when you kill the slow predator and leave the fast prey, you have done the arithmetic in the pest's favor. It is the exact same reason the spraying never ends and the problem always comes back. And the fear that makes you reach for the shoe in the first place isn't even real. That venom is built for insects, not for you. The centipede's forcipules, those front fangs, are too weak to break human skin. An author who has handled thousands of them for a book on centipedes put it simply. He said everyone thinks they bite, but he's held them countless times and never once been bitten because they physically cannot get through your skin. Even in the rare event that one does pinch you, which only happens when it's trapped against bare skin, the reaction is milder than a weak bee sting. It has no interest in you at all. To that creature, you are not prey. You are just an enormous, terrifying giant it is desperately trying to get away from. So the next time the light comes on and that shape bolts across the tile, stop and understand what you're actually looking at. Not the thing to be afraid of, the thing that hunts everything you should be afraid of. It builds no nest. It spins no web. It carries no disease. It doesn't touch your food or your wood or your walls. It eats your roaches, your silverfish, your bedbugs, and your termites. night after night, in the dark. And it has never once asked you for anything except to be left alone. You can keep the shoe by the door, or you can let the best exterminator you will ever have get back to work. So be honest with me down in the comments. After everything you just learned, could you actually leave one alone? Or is this still the one you'll kill? And if this changed your mind, hit subscribe.